Good evening. My name is Kemi Oguleye and I am the head of strategic communications at Union Bank. I'm sure some of you may be wondering, what are we doing here? Isn't the challenge over? It was supposed to be 4 weeks. Indeed, the challenge was just 4 weeks. But if you recall, at the end of last week, the final week announcement, I did say that we had a surprise coming up and I asked you all to stay tuned to our pages. So I'm back today to announce what that surprise is. We had over the course of 4 weeks, we had more than 1,500 people enter the Union Rise Challenge. That's a lot of entries. And so many of the stories we heard were inspiring. So many of those stories really showed the resilient spirit of Nigerians, that spirit that we wanted to celebrate. But unfortunately, out of more than 1,500 entries, we could only pick 40. We had so many stories that we couldn't recognize, that we weren't able to reward. So we went back and thought, how can we find a way to reward more people? How can we find a way to spotlight more of these stories? So that's what we're doing here. We have decided to we picked an additional 50 entries that we're calling our honorable mentions. Those are stories that touched our hearts, that really connected with us, that really showed how people are going over and beyond to support their communities. And we wanted to find a way to recognize these people. So these are our top 50 honorable mentions. I'm going to announce their names just now. We heard stories such as a yoga teacher who had lost her source of income but kept people entertained during the lockdown with her yoga videos. And then there was a female cinematographer who also couldn't work because of the lockdown, but started training people on video editing skills for free. She was training people online, sharing her skills, just as a way to help people, encourage people during this time. And then we had a costume makeup artist who started using her art for activism to raise awareness. So there's so many stories like this. These are powerful stories that we're not able to make it into our winning entries, but we felt they deserve honorable mentions. And guess what? For everybody on our honorable mention list, we have a reward of 100,000 naira for each of you. So it's not just a mention, there's a reward of 100,000 naira for each of our 50 honorable mentions. Congratulations to all of you. I'm going to announce the names now in no particular order. Here are the 50 honorable mentions. Number 1 is Ruth Peters. Her entry came in on Instagram. Ruth Peters on Instagram. 2, Beatrice Olawumi on Twitter. Beatrice Olawumi on Twitter. Zion Oshiobugwe. Zion Oshiobugwe on Instagram. And then we have Adewumi Akibola on Twitter. Adeze Nwadike on Instagram. David Ayola on Instagram. Abdul Aziz Shobajo, his entry came in on Twitter. And Samuel Ete on Instagram. Yusuf Arike Wuyo, Twitter. Michael Erayame, Twitter. Ade Taromi Olushola, Instagram. Benjamin Nwafo on Instagram. Aderonke Onikbede, Instagram. Theophilus Ajiferuke on Instagram. Then we have Thompson Adeju on Instagram. Comfort Pius, also on Instagram. Ogunwale Oriyomi on Twitter. Ileke Ayirende, Twitter. Martins Uja on Instagram. That's Martins Uja on Instagram. Adija Madaki on Twitter. Emmanuel Azuka Instagram. Joy OBSC Twitter. Ọlọ́run Rinu Oduala Instagram. Paul Okoye Twitter. And Inyoma Ezenwoye Instagram. That's the first 25 names. So we're halfway through. I'm still announcing 25 more names to go. So here are the next 25 names. James Onaji Instagram. Harrison Okolinta Instagram. Ebodahe Mercy Instagram. Chinwe Omotayo Instagram. Oluwatosin Olanipekun also on Instagram. Ebuka Kingsley on Twitter. Precious Eniayekon on Instagram. Mayowa Adegbile on Instagram. Dayo Ajibola Instagram. Dorothy Akende Instagram. Tolulokpe Oluwase Twitter. Obiageli Aku Twitter. Yes Children Foundation Twitter. That's the Yes Children Foundation Twitter. Gabriel Ogbeyemi Twitter. Samson Shotonwa Twitter. Ernest Maxwell Instagram. Then we have Faith and Faithfulness Ebere. They're twins, I believe. Faith and Faithfulness Ebere Instagram. Then Miss Amarachuku on Twitter. Fred Holt on Twitter as well. Victor Agbodiete Instagram. And now the last five, so keep listening. I still might mention your name. Ijeme Barre Instagram. Matthias Favor Instagram. Scope Kids Creative. Those are child actors actually who targeted their peers, young people like themselves, to raise awareness amongst their own peers. Scope Kids Creatives, to raise awareness about COVID-19 on YouTube. Akikotu Ibukun, that's Akikotu Ibukun on Instagram. And finally, our last honorable mention for the Union Rise Challenge is Fatima Abokaso. That's a self-taught animator who made her content to aid online learning and to comment on social issues and also to entertain people through comedy. Fatima Abokaso on YouTube as well. So these are our 50 honorable mentions. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to all our winners from the first 4 weeks of the Union Rise Challenge. And even if your name wasn't announced as a winner, even if your name wasn't announced as part of our honorable mentions, as far as we're concerned, you are all winners, every single one of you who participated, because you're doing innovative ways, create innovative things, and finding creative ways to rise and to thrive and to support your communities at this time. We commend you for all the work that you're doing, and we say keep rising. Stay tuned to our Union Bank platforms on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Union Bank NG for more announcements and more competitions coming your way soon. Thank you very much and have a fantastic weekend.